Okay, we're going to go on the quiz 74. Just before we start, we're going to give some scores out from last week. This is the second time we trying to do this. The camera, the phone fell over, I was recording it. Knocked it off, so try it again. Number one, scores. Quiz night 74, this is. So last week's biggest scorers were Stevie and Rita, we have 30. Dawn and John, we have 26. Billy Gray, we had 27. Josie and Bill, we had 27. Jerry Smith, we had 24. Andre, we had 24. And Davy and Jean, we had 25. Okay, we had top scorers last week. So here we go on with round one. Where are we? Which English football club was the first to install a fully artificial pitch at their ground in 1981? Number two, which building completed in 1943 still holds the record for the world's largest office building? Number three, which high street confectionery retailer is the only UK company to own its own cocoa farm? Number four, in the book of Genesis, from what did God create Adam? And number five, before people started saying cheese for a photograph getting took, what type of fruit did people say? And number six, who were the first dance troupe to have a regular appearance, weekly appearance on Top of the Pops? And number seven, Ken Barlow, Coronation Street, has been married 4 times. Valerie, Janet, Deirdre. Who was the 4th marriage? And number 8, in 1969, Pete Conrad became the 3rd person to do what? Okay, 1969, Pete Conrad became the 3rd person to do what? Get the answers down. And I'm going to give you the answers, then we're going to move on to this one I've tried, but I hope it comes out on the camera. But it's probably okay. I don't know where the words will go back to front. Now, there's words that are supposed to be back to front, but I'll tell you what they are. And if it's not, you might need to flip 2 words around. No. But I'll tell you when I'm doing it. Okay, answers. Which English football club was the first to install a fully artificial pitch at their ground in 1981? Queen's Park Rangers. Which building, completed in 1943, still holds a record for the world's largest office building? It's the Pentagon. And which high street confectionery retailer is the only UK company to own its own cocoa farm? It's Hotel Chocolate. And the book of Genesis, from what did God create Adam? The dust of the ground. And before people started saying cheese for a photograph getting taken, what type of fruit did people say? They said prunes. And who was the first dance troupe to have a regular weekly appearance on Top of the Pops? It was the Go-Jo's from 1964 to 68, and then Ponds people came along and took over. Number 7, Ken Barlow of Coronation Street has been married 4 times to Valerie, Janet and Deirdre, who was the 4th marriage. He married Deirdre again. And in 1969, Pete Conrad became the 3rd person to do what? He was the 3rd person to walk on the moon. Remember the 1969 one, there was 1 person stayed in the spacecraft, remember? So only 2 walked the first time. Right. We're going to go into this picture round, and hopefully you'll get it. Okay. Here's the first one. It's Dingbat. Say what you see. They're all hit records. Okay, so this here you should be reading this here from right to left. So that's the first thing you should be saying. Okay, if you're not saying like that, this comes before this. Okay. Forget about the words in the top of the page. Okay, that's number 1. Don't forget they're all hit records. Number 2, and this is supposed to be upside down. Don't forget about the numbers in the top corner. It's nothing to do with a number. Number 3. hope you're seeing these words spelled correctly, because they're not supposed to be back to front. I'm just hoping it comes out right, and like when it comes out on the TV when you're watching it. But the way I'm seeing it, it's back to front. But hopefully it's not back to front. It's not supposed to be. That's number 3. Number 4. And if you're not, I hope you're saying this the wrong way. The I comes first. If you're saying the T first. Number 5. Now you shouldn't be reading them back to front. You should hope you're seeing them as you spell, as they're spelt, hopefully. You forget their big hit records. Number 6. Number 7. Number 8. Now these words are supposed to be mixed up. The words are supposed to be mixed up. So if you're seeing them mixed up, they are supposed to be mixed up. Okay, that's our last one. So I'll give you the answers. Okay, I've got them all wrote down. Hopefully that'll make sense and that's come out right. Number 1. Rocket Man. That one, John. Number 2. The Carnival is Over. The Seekers. Number 3. Shake It All Over. Number 4. Paint It Black. The Rolling Stones. Number 5. Two Tribes. Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Number 6. Moon River. Is it Donnie Williams? Moon River. Number 7. Love Is All Around. And Trogs or something. Number 8. Number 8. Bridge Over Troubled Water. Okay, hope you enjoyed that. And we're going to go on to round 3. This is a connection round. That which we call a rose by any other name would smell as sweet is from which Shakespeare play? Number 2. Which city was formerly called New Amsterdam? Number 3. San Juan is the capital and largest city of which Caribbean island? San Juan. Okay. Number 4. Bull, basking and nurse are types of which type of fish? Number 5. What was Blondie's last number 1 hit? Number 6. Who had a hit with I Love Rock and Roll? The original, the first hit. And number 7. Which DJ's first wife was Tessa Wyatt? And number 8. What's the connection? I've just had a battery warning on this phone. This is probably going to be, hopefully I'll get through this before it goes out. So we're going to run through it quickly. Okay, so the answers are coming out, so hope you've paused it. That which we call a rose by any other name would smell as sweet is from which Shakespeare play? Romeo and Juliet. Which city was formerly called New Amsterdam? New York. And San Juan is the capital and largest city of which Caribbean island? Puerto Rico. And bull, bosque and nurse are types of which type of fish? Sharks. And what was Blondie's last #1 hit? Maria. And who had a hit with I Love Rock and Roll? Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. And which DJ's first wife was Tessa Wyatt? Tony Blackburn. And what's the connection? West Side Story, you have Romeo and Juliet is what West Side Story was based on. You've got New York, where it was set in, West Side Story. You've got Puerto Rico, one of the gangs of Puerto Rico. And type of fish was sharks. That was one of the gangs. And what was Blondie's last #1 hit? Maria, that was one of the lead characters. And Joan Jett, the other gang was the Jets. And Tony Blackburn, Tony was the other main character. So it was West Side Story. If you got that. So I'm going to write on here before this goes done. #1, what does the S stand for in SIM card? Your SIM card, what does the S stand for? #2, there are 4 words in the English dictionary, or a language that ends in DOUS, D-O-U-S. Yeah, you need to give me 2. There's 4 words in the English language that ends in D-O-U-S. Give me 2. #3, what's the study of plants called? #4, which element has the chemical symbol W? #5, what does the B stand for in BISTO? If you buy a packet of BISTO, what's the B stand for in BISTO? Here's a connection. I'm going to give you 3 songs and I want you to tell me what the connection is. What does Ruby Murray, no, I'm going to give you 3 artists and what the connection is. What does Ruby Murray, Status Quo and the Archies have in common? Ruby Murray, Status Quo and the Archies have in common. And #7, what was the first name of the Italian general after whom the Garibaldi biscuit was named after? Here's a tough one. For what crime was Robert Hubert hanged for in the 1600s? For what crime was Robert Hubert hung for in the 1600s? So get them down. I'm going to give you the answers. So if you want to pause that there, if you need to go back, I'm going to give you the answers. What does the S stand for in SIM card? It's a subscriber identification module. Subscriber. And what's the only 4 words in the English dictionary that ends in DOUS? You only have to name 2. Is hazardous, horrendous, stupendous, tremendous. Okay, so if you have only 2 of them, give yourselves a point. What's the study of plants called? Botany. And which element has this chemical symbol W? Tungsten. And what does the B stand for in BISTO? Well, the whole lot stands for something that's browns, instantly, seasons, and thickens in one. That's what BISTO stands for. What does Ruby Murray, Status Quo and the Archies have in common? They all had #1 hits with 2 repeated words. Softly, softly, down, down, and sugar, sugar. Numbers, I think, since the church began, there have been 10 such #1s with 2 double-barreled words. Right? What was the first name of the Italian general after Giuseppe, or Garibaldi biscuits are named after? Giuseppe Garibaldi. And from what crime was Robert Hubert hanged for in the 1600s? He was hanged for starting the Great Fire of London. Right, we're going to go to the last round and hopefully this doesn't die, this battery. Lesser spotted, greater spotted and green are the 3 types of which bird native to the UK? Lesser spotted, greater spotted and green. #2, which island group is named after a type of crocodile? #3, what town in the Burgundy region of France is famous for its mustard? #4, what's the common name for the medical condition a periorbital hematoma? A periorbital hematoma? 5. Which children's toy was the name of a British entry in the Eurovision Song Contest in 1970? Number 6. Who was the last 40-year-old to play for England in the World Cup? Number 7. 8 minutes 47.8 seconds is the fastest time ever achieved to win which race? And number 8. Which American magazine, founded in 1927, is famous for its annual Person of the Year award? Okay, I've come to the last round, so get your answers in, because I'm going to give you the answers out. So for this battery guys on me. Number 1, lesser spotted, greater spotted and green are the 3 types of which bird native to the UK? Woodpecker. And which island group is named after a type of crocodile? The Cayman Islands. And which town in the Burgundy region of France is famous for its mustard? Dijon. And what's the common name for the medical condition a periorbital hematoma, a black eye? And which children's toy was the name of the British entry in the Eurovision Song Contest in 1970? Well, Puppet on a String, 1967, but 1970 was Jack in the Box. So the answer is Jack in the Box. Who was the last 40-year-old to play for England in the World Cup? Peter Shilton. And 8 minutes 47.8 seconds is the fastest time in the Grand National. Apparently in 1980, the course was reduced by 300 metres in 2000. Sorry, that was the fastest time in 1990. But in 2013, the course was still reduced to 300 metres and still nobody's beat that time. In which American magazine, founded in 1927, is famous for its annual Person of the Year award? It's Time magazine. And Hitler won it before the war started. Hitler was one of the people that won Person of the Year award by Time magazine. So let me know how you've done. And I've just got this about in time. This is done about 4 minutes quicker than it usually is, because I was afraid of the battery going done. So let me know how you've done, and hopefully picture round has come out alright. I'm going to have a wee look at it now. Okay, have a good weekend, and I'll see you soon.